Hi everyone, and welcome back to another stream where we're just going to be playing some more PSO today, I think. We're probably going to play a little bit of NGS a little bit later on as well, but we're going to start off with some PSO bloopers as usual. So I hope you guys are doing okay. Couple of things just to update you guys on the channel just while people are filing in. So first of all, regarding videos this week, so we've just uploaded a video for the phone UL, which was just like a beginner's guide how to use that class. That's just gone live yesterday. Those guides will just continue over the next few weeks, just until we've got through all of the different PSO classes. The next thing is there's going to be an NGS video probably midweek. It'll either be on Tuesday or Wednesday, and that will probably be looking at whatever's announced in the NGS headline that's going live on Tuesday. Unfortunately, it won't be a live reaction to it because I'm actually at work when the headline's on. But there will be a video on that just covering the whatever's in the NGS headline. So I think for the meantime, we'll just we'll jump on the Ephinea like we have done for the last couple of streams. Just do some casual PSO hunts for the first hour and a half, 2 hours or so. And as usual, if anyone wants to join the stream or anything, I will just be in Lumerace 2-1. So if anyone wants to join in any runs or anything, just feel free to drop by. I'm always open to running quest for viewers. So I probably do need to work on this limb agent unseal this a little bit actually. So just while some people come in, we'll just do some unsealing. Hi Draken, you okay? Yeah, so just while the stream gets started, I'll just get a couple of kills on this limb agent. I need to sort that audio bug. I'm not sure what causes it, but as soon as you spawn in to the Hunters Guild, for some reason the music skips. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, so if you are playing on Ephinea, if you want to unseal anything or get quick experience, this is another quest you can run. It's called Beyond the Horizon. It does cost you 10,000 Mazetta to actually do a run of it, but it's worth doing just because of the kill count you can get. Gotta lame yourself, but paid for it to be unsealed. Ephinea as the best way to unseal. Yeah, you basically just stand in the middle of spawns and just spam Giffy. It's not exciting at all to do it, but yeah, it's the only way of doing it quickly. So I actually need to put Giffy in my palette here, actually. I had someone in one of my recent videos saying that the way my palette's laid out in this game gives them anxiety, which I found quite funny, actually. This is not the optimum way to have your palette set up, believe me. It would help if I had the lame equipped as well. Yeah, the reason my palette's laid out so strange is just it's the way I've always played PSO for like 20 years, so it's really, really hard to unlearn it. Ideally, you don't want an attack on... Well, you don't want your light attack on your middle button like I've got it here, because if you get a lot of items on the floor, you just won't be able to pick anything up or won't be able to attack. It's really not ideal. But the great thing about this quest is you can more or less just stand in the middle and just spam Giffy. Hi, Minsk. Yeah, so I mentioned it right at the start, but just for people who are still coming in. So there's a PSO video that's just gone up live yesterday for the just like a beginner's guide to the phone UL. And there'll be an NGS video going up probably Tuesday or Wednesday, just covering whatever's announced in the NGS headline. Then the following weekend, that'll probably be another PSO video again, so I would imagine one of the other class guides. And we're working through like Hunter, Ranger, and Force, so the next one will probably be a Hunter. Thinking maybe Hugh Cast for the next one. We're unsealing an Excal. Yeah, I'm just getting a few kills on it just while people are coming into the stream. I really need to work on it, and I keep saying I'll do it and never get around to it. So I'm not just going to be unsealing this on the stream. This is just while a few people are coming in. I realise that watching me unseal a lane is not the most exciting thing in the world. It'll help my Hugh Newell out a lot if I can get this unsealed at some point, so... Why have you gone over there? Lame stream, yeah, it is. The puns, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably just do this one run, and then I'll do something else after that. It's just so I can make some progress on it. Because I will just never get it done otherwise. What items do you want to farm this stream? It's drop all and RDR boost. Oh, hi, Altronix. Watching from work or join. Oh, no worries. To be honest, you must have a pretty chill work if you can watch from work. I know I wouldn't be able to if I was at work. So what items I'm wanting to hunt? I kind of wouldn't mind trying to hunt Swordsman's Law. Which I think is from a Del Saber drops it in Ult Ruins. So that's one option I wouldn't mind going for, possibly. I am also up for just hunting whatever guys want to hunt as well, though. So if there's anything in particular that anyone's after, just let me know. I'm always up for helping people out with the game as well. You're going to suggest Swordsman's Law? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Del Saber drop. Can't remember for the life of me, though, what the best quest is for Del Sabers. B101 is doable with Ruddy Episode 1 or Green Episode 4 Zoos. Yeah, I mean, I'm always down for hunting V101 as well. Just security, so it's slow, especially weekends. Ah, fair enough. Yeah, I work in healthcare during the week, so I tend to hold clinics, so it's kind of difficult to to watch YouTube in the middle of a clinic. For anyone who didn't see as well, I announced it on my Twitter, but I've actually been confirmed as a NGS official content creator. So all that means for the channel basically is that the channel will be linked on the actual NGS website. So there wouldn't be any difference in regards to the actual videos, so I'll still be putting the same content out as usual. There'll still be loads of PSO content, PSU, basically anything Fantasy Star Online related will still be on the channel. It's just that the channel will be linked on the official NGS site now as well. I will also still give my honest opinions on NGS as well, so if there is things I'm not happy with the game, I will still let you guys know. It doesn't mean I have to sort of suck up to Sega or anything like that, so as long as I'm giving like my honest thoughts on the game, that's fine. Congrats again. Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, I got sort of convinced by a friend to go for it. I didn't think I'd be able to get in for it because I didn't think I'd meet the requirements for it. When I actually had a look at my channel, though, I was actually meeting the requirements quite easily, so I may as well go for it, you know. I do NGS videos anyway, so it made sense. Sometimes these Astaks are easier just to take care of with the actual sword rather than using Gafoi, because they interrupt you so much. There we go. Yeah, so I think there was me and I think there was 3 other people got announced as official creators. So at some point in game, I think I should get an NGS creator badge as well, so people will be able to see that in game to see I'm a creator. I don't have that yet, though. I think I get that about mid-February. But we'll be playing a little bit of NGS later as well. I kind of want to do a few runs of the new limited quest, just because I really want to farm some Giga Strugments. I want one of the PSO weapon camos. I'm just not sure which one yet. Maybe Psycho Wand. Badge item's cool. Yeah, it's a nice little touch that Sega have done, I suppose. I don't really need it or anything. The only reason I really applied for Creator was just because I was already doing NGS videos anywhere, so it just kind of made sense to do it. I thought at the end of the day, if it gets the channel a few more views, a few more people watching my stuff, then it's worth doing. And hopefully, for people who are new to NGS as well, it might sort of point them to my channel as well, to some of the videos. So it just seemed like a worthwhile thing to do, really. Back in my day, we did not have to concern ourselves with getting official content creator status. Yeah, same for me back in the day with PSO. I mean, honestly, you don't need to be an official content creator for NGS to do NGS content. There's loads of people who do NGS videos that are not official creators and do perfectly fine. It was just something like I sort of got convinced by a friend really to go for it, so I kind of suffer a bit from like imposter syndrome, so I never really feel like my stuff's good enough to warrant it, so I sort of held off on going for it. I don't know why I'm using D-Bank, it's only normal. Episode 4 seems to have been designed with the thought, how can we make this as unfun as possible for anyone not playing a Force? To be honest, this quest is kind of an exception. So this, I don't even know if it was ever an official quest, to be honest. I think it's an Ephinea custom quest. I could be wrong on that, though. This is just purely designed to get you as many kills as possible in a quick period of time. So this isn't kind of typical of Episode 4 generally. I mean, there are a lot of quests that do have quite big enemy spawns, but this is kind of atypical of what you'd expect usually. Having said that, though, there is still some really, really BS quests in Ep4. You're up for Giga Strugs, haven't done dailies yet. Yeah, cool, that's fine, yeah. I've been getting a bit annoyed with the limited quest, really, in NGS, because I don't know if anyone else has experienced it, but I seem to be getting loads and loads of parties where people are ditching at right at the beginning of the quest. It's really, really annoying. So you'll start out with a party of 8 and like immediately 1 or 2 people will just drop out, which just kind of screws you over for the whole run. Even else I'm late. Oh, no worries. Best players, nice to see you. Kind of feel the generation gap with modern day streaming. Back in the early 2000s, putting your face online wasn't really a thing most people did. Yeah, it's changed quite a lot, really. I mean, having said that, I mean, even for streamers, I mean, that there are streamers who don't show the faces. Obviously, big thing lately is VTubers, isn't it? So there's a lot of people who just use like avatars instead, which I kind of get why. I don't think you necessarily need to show your face to be a content creator by any means. So as for some games, it's really awkward anyway. You probably noticed that for a lot of my PSO guides, I don't have the camera on, and the reason for that is because as soon as you open a menu, your camera just gets in the way of everything. It's not so bad for streaming, because the main point of streaming is like to hang out with you guys, really. But for actual videos where people want to see what's going on, it can be a bit awkward when your camera just blocks everything you're trying to show. Depends on the game, really. Just can't see a thing here. Just spamming GIF for you and hoping for the best. Yeah, I should be done with this in a couple of minutes, and then after this we can hunt either V101 or Swordsman's Law. So urgent quests suffer from the same issue. Supposedly Sega shadow bans or punishes them. I've heard that, yeah. I think they did mention it in a headline before that they are going to like punish people who deliberately drop from quests, but there seems to be so many people doing it that I don't know if Sega are actually doing it, or... I appreciate, that, if something really urgent comes up and you need to drop out, fair enough. But at least sort of say something to the party, like, oh, really, really sorry, I've got to go, something's come up. Yeah, that'll do, that's where we end. Because the desert part is miserable. Yeah, it seems to be like a running problem with the limited quests lately. It happens to an extent in the urgent quests as well. I've noticed happening on Darkfall Solus as well, where people just drop out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, actually, I remember that. Yeah, with the Buster quests. Yeah, I kind of feel they should bring something back where they do penalise people for dropping out, particularly if you do it repeatedly as well. Even if it's just something like locking them out of that quest for an hour or so. Just trying to stop people from doing it, because it does just ruin the quest for everyone else. It just makes everything take far longer. And yeah, I get what you mean, Minsk. Yeah, voice chat is something that I don't really do much either. I tend to just text chat with people when I'm not streaming. Voice chat to me still seems kind of weird, but the whole streaming thing seems weird to me still, to be honest. Want to farm Del Sabers or Zoos? I mean, they're both pretty horrific, but I mean, we can mix it up if you want. So if you want to, we could start with Del Sabers. Do you have any idea what the best quest is for Del Sabers, by any chance? I can't remember. Oh, it's been so long since I've hunted Del Sabers, I can't remember where they appear most. Had a root canal done this week. As a present, your mate got you a bunch of loot off his old memory card. Oh, cool about the memory card stuff, not so much about the root canal. Yeah, I know root canals absolutely suck. It says Doc Secret Plan. Actually, yes, I ran that recently for the Soul Eater side quest. Yeah, yeah, there is quite a few Del Sabers near the start of that. I can't remember if I've got it unlocked in Ultimate. I could have a look, unless one of you guys has it unlocked. Or as the drop. Solo to Humor up to 90s to get some gear, but one thing stopping you from going in parties is being a dead weight. Should I carry on doing very high dragon runs? To be honest, I mean, if you're in the 90s, you should be okay. I mean, things will hit you still pretty hard at 90 if you play multiplayer. But I mean, if you want to do more very hard dragon runs, by all means, it won't harm you. But I mean, in the 90s, you should be okay to do sort of early ultimate with other people, I would have thought. Sort of maybe forest, maybe early caves at most. I'd probably stick to forest for the most part, though. What kind of gear are you using? Because that could influence it quite a bit. It's 5 Devil Sabers in one room. Fragments of Memory has 41, but that quest map's gigantic. Yeah, I can't even remember Fragments of Memory. I seem to have like memories of doing it a long time ago, but I can't remember what the map's like or anything, so I will get lost if we do that. Yeah, I can check and see if I've got Doc Secret Plan unlocked. I honestly can't remember if I do. Just 2 seconds, I'll have a look. Actually, Doc Secret Plan, that's a single player quest anyway, isn't it? Isn't Doc Secret Plan, it's a side story quest, isn't it? I think, is that restricted to just one player? Or we can do a bigger run on Ruins. I mean, to be honest, yeah, I mean, I don't mind just doing a Ruins run if you want. Just to keep things easy. I think it is. I can't remember on Ephinea if they've made them multiplayer or not. I believe the side stories are only one player. Yeah, I thought it was side story, yeah. Yeah, either works. I can't remember what's better for Rudy or Skyly Ruins. I know Skyly gets the Lavis Cannon from Del D's. I don't think there's too much else in Skyly Ruins. It's a little bit hit and miss. Yeah, I would say though, if you are up to level 90s and you've got sort of very hard gear, you might be okay for the beginning of Ultimate. Cheers, Draken. You want a spread needle? Yeah, spread needle is really, really useful if you can get one of those for range. It's definitely one of the best ranger weapons just for how comfortable it makes the game, really. Yes, like Draken's saying, so we're at 3 out of 4 here, so if anyone's on Ephinea server, we're just on Limber Race Block 2 at the minute, so if anyone wants to join and do an Ult Ruins run, by all means, join in. One more. Yeah, we can do a couple of runs for Swordsman's Law, and then we can switch it over to V101 if you want. Mr. PSO2 Classic Announcer. Yeah, no worries. Yesterday, yeah. 2 seconds. Yep, there you go. Hope it's too low. You just started 4 days ago. Yeah, it might be a bit rough then. Yeah, just regarding the NGS creator thing, don't worry if you're here for sort of PSO content, don't worry, that's not going anywhere. I will still be doing that. Level 55, okay. Yeah, just keep grinding. I mean, you're not too far off, honestly. It'll probably slow down a little bit for you because the experience week's gone now, but you should hopefully, you know, if you play a reasonable amount, you should be able to get to Ultimate fairly quick. Yeah, I hope you're feeling okay anyway, best player. I know it can be pretty rough having things like root canals. So just don't have a PC to play BB. I mean, to be honest, I mean, you could probably run this on basically anything. It's not a difficult game to run, but yeah, I mean, I do have GameCube as well. I just don't have any way of getting it online at the minute. I will not be using the Lame Dagent here. I mean, to be honest, base player, for me personally, I think I said this last stream, but for me personally, I think episode 1 and 2 is my favourite version of PSO. I do like Blue Burst, but I don't like some of the extra stuff that they added into the game. Just some of the episode 4 weapons, I think, are just a bit busted, really. Alright, I need to change my palette back from Giffey. Del Sabers, finally. Cool. Fingers crossed for Swordsman's Law. Just the range weapons. Going through his loot, got bring his rifle, frozen shoot with hundreds in air base and machine dark, spread needle, and hang on gold. Hang on gold is like a uber rare. No worries, Draken. Yeah, we can just do a run through. If we get Del Sabers, we get Del Sabers. Yeah, that handgun gold is like ridiculously rare. Oh, red box. Oh, I got PD'd. I didn't see what dropped that. I hope it wasn't Delsa, but... A special weapon. I'm guessing it was from a claw. Silence claw. Ah, fair enough. Oh, you got photon dropped as well. How have we like all got like red boxes within just this one room? Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that the handgun gold has all zeros. Yeah, the drop rate for that, if you look it up, is horrendously bad. Right, this room terrifies me. I don't like that there's this many sorcerers. Mega did. It happens to us all. Yeah, if you don't know base player, the that handgun gold, you combine it with another uber rare mech gun, and it makes one of the strongest mech guns in the game. Well, they're individually handguns, but you can combine them into a mech gun. But they're both really, really hard to find. That Megad again. Sorcerers are going rogue. Ah, it's fine. That's grand. So I can take that. I like that he didn't target me with grants there, despite me being directly in front of him. Gotta get you with the insta-kill jank, otherwise no one would ever die past a certain point. Yeah, you're not wrong. They do go a bit overboard in episode 2, though. Episode 2 is ridiculous for the amount of instant kill in Ultimate. Yeah, particularly Control Tower. It's absolute misery. I haven't been able to play this week aside from checking the memory card. Yeah, I haven't had much time to play myself this week, to be honest. I've been quite busy. Yeah, this room is pretty cool. I've always liked this room in Ruins. It's kind of like a waypoint, because if you go this way, you know that you're probably going the right way. Laughs in Ilgil. Yeah, spoken like someone who's done Control Tower before. Like how even the claws are knocking me over. Waterfall room is a screenshot room, yeah. Like, literally every screenshot in PSO in Ruins is in the waterfall room. Go for V502 as well, yeah. I say we'll do this and then we'll maybe do some V101 after that, and then we'll see what we're doing for time. Yeah, I've always liked the waterfall room. Oh, another rat. Is that another Silence Claw? This is ridiculous for Bull Claws. Every map has one of the landmark rooms, except maybe Mines. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there is one in Mines. Can't think of anything offhand. Yeah, I get what you mean. Most of the rooms, most of the areas have one of those rooms that's sort of a unique one that happens every run. I suppose like things like the waterfall room and cave as well. Oh, I'm not quite strong enough to kill these in one combo yet. Yeah, I suppose there is that Sinnoh room, isn't there? Yeah, the small one. It's probably the least impressive of all the rooms because it does kind of just look like most of the mine rooms, but yeah, I suppose that only does show up once. State maintenance was OP on DC. What did that do? Obviously, I know that unit's not in the later games. Did they just ditch it after Dreamcast? I have no idea which portal this is here. Q units replaced it. So did state maintenance just basically make you immune to all statuses? Prevented all negative status. Yeah, that's incredibly broken. Yeah, I can see why they got rid of that. Should we just pick one and just hope for the best? Hi, Marty. Okay. If in doubt, go center. God, the difference that Zalo makes is ridiculous. Yeah, I haven't spent much time with the Dreamcast version. I do have version 1 and version 2, but I just picked them up recently. Basically, I started with the GameCube version of PSO. It seems like a really bad place to be stuck. Yeah, it's been interesting trying the Dreamcast version. I think for me, I'll always like the GameCube version the most, just because it's the one I started with, and it's the one I kind of have the most nostalgia for. Still hoping that at some point Sega will just realize that people still want to play PSO and we'll just, release a remastered version. But, hopefully it happens. Like the GameCube version more. Honestly, if they had GameCube, but if they fixed all the problems I had with the online, it would have been pretty much perfect. It's unfortunate that it was just rife with problems online, with people crashing your game and making your game freeze. Yeah. So I know. I know version 1 and version 2 were just episode 1, and I think version 1 was just. Am I right in saying it that version 1 was just normal hard and very hard as well? And I think maybe a level 100 cap as well. That was really clutch of Sato making me invincible there. That would have probably killed me, I think. Yeah, it's really weird going back to that version of PSO now. Obviously, really respect the Dreamcast version for, being the first version of PSO. Oh, nice, Draken. Congratulations. Ephinea recently fixed DMC. So it's possible if they ever did a re-release. Ah, cool. So we've got one Swordsman's Law, so we just need one more now. Let's get more, yeah. Sounds good. The only downside is you've got to unseal it. No, we can get 3. I mean, you know, we've got 1. What's 2 or 3 more? Yeah, 1 per room, exactly, yeah. No problem. It's really awkward, this. These claws are not letting me in the room, so I can't actually hit them. This weird thing with PSO where if the enemies get too near the edge of the room, you just can't hit them. There we go, there's another Del Saber, so that's our next Swordsman's Law, right? In reverse door camped. The enemies got sick of us doing it to them and just turned the tables. I hate just spamming mech guns and everything, but in some areas it is just better with Hunter to do that. Partly just because of how disgusting mech guns are later on. These bull claws as well, it's just a lot easier taking care of them with mech guns instead. I really need to sort that pallet out at some point. Like how Ruins goes, Ruin, Spaceship, then Bio Ruin. Yeah, it's a really, really cool area. Like how it says the enemy was annihilated, but there's still claws here. I'm guessing it's because these were spawned by the Bull Claw. So maybe they don't count as enemies in the quest. Yeah, I've always really, really liked how Ruins is laid out. The music as well is so good. I've got a rest of level 30 disc here. Does anyone need it? I've already got one from R4, so I don't need another one. His middle was the really important one. Yeah, just think if we hadn't have gone middle, you might not have got the Swordsman's Law. Let's take Rester. Yeah, sure, here you go. If I drop something here, will it show up for you with the PSO2 drops on? Or do we have to just trade it in Pioneer? I'm not too familiar with how it works in Ephinea. You can drop it. I'll try dropping it and see if it shows up for you. Ah, cool. Yeah, I've already got it from my force, so... It was on day 28, it's not too bad, I'll take that. No worries. Need to build a phonium next. Yeah, just spam everything with Ratex. I'm not sure, we can try if you want. At least we know where the portal is now. I haven't done this quest for ages, so I'm assuming that we probably can't backtrack. Because it said all the enemies have been beaten, so... Well, see what happens at least. If I can remember the way back to the warp. Gonna ditch your Hucast and go back to Hucasil. Always preferred the accuracy. I love Hucasil. It's a really, really fun class. I had quite a high level one on GameCube. The other thing I really like about Hucasil as well is they're a bit like Raymal in that they have some of their own weapon animations. So some weapons are just better to use on Hucasil. which actually makes some weapon types just completely usable. Because there are a few types of weapons that are just kind of awkward to use, really, because the animation's bad. Yeah, the accuracy can be a real problem. It's the same with Hugh Newell as well. The accuracy's shockingly bad. Yeah, same Minsk. I've got a Hook Seal on this server as well, but she's really, really low level. I should probably level her at some point. Yeah, I can PB whenever. Dagger animation makes it like an entirely different weapon. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's one of the main weapons I use on GameCube with my Hook Seal. Particularly if you can get the S-Red blades, they're really, really cool on Hook Seal because you can use the special to get shifter and D-band as well. I can do anything, so if you want to do twins, I can do something else, or if you want me to do twins, that's fine. Hey, more Del Sabers. Alright, yeah, I can do twins then. Just go whenever and I can combo. Yeah, sure, yeah. You want to just do it between rooms? Yeah, Hook Seal with daggers is amazing. Ah, yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Yeah, no worries, I'll do twins. Yeah, just go whenever and I can chain. Yep, sure. We've got S-Beat arms on the one you're using currently, still in very hard, but rapid fire hell attack science. Yeah, S-Beats are really, really cool. I think the only downside with them is that the special's reduced because it hits quite a lot of times. But they are really, really cool daggers, the S-Beat ones. S-Reds are amazing if you can get those in Ultimate though. They're pretty strong daggers anyway, but the special casts like a low level shifter D-band as well. Power of friendship. The power of friendship and level 61 shifter and D-band. And some of these spawns are nasty. There's a ton of Del Sabers in this. I think this is definitely the quest to do for Del Sabers then. I suppose if you're solo, you can do Doc's Secret Plan and get a few easy ones that way. Yeah, there's a few different weapons that Hook Seal has different animations for. And as I say, it's the same with a few other classes as well. I know that Ray Mal has some unique animations. I think one of the Forces, I can't remember if it's 4-Mar or 4-Mal that has it planned. It's been a long time since I played the Human Forces. Yeah, the double save animation is really, really cool. And again, I think it's probably better than the Hunuel one. Just seems a bit more useful. Just gives a bit more personality to the class as well. Just makes it, a little bit more unique. Yeah, they have a good unarmed one as well. Yeah, I remember that. I think, is that the animation where they do like a leg sweep at the end? remember if it's a leg sweep one or if it's like a roundhouse or something. Again, it's been a long time since I played my Giga Seal on GameCube. Giga Seal next Hunter Guide, maybe. I'm going to do one of the androids definitely. So it'll either be Hucast or Giga Seal. Because Hunter is next in the list anyway, so. Another special weapon. Is that another Silence Claw? Is that 3 now? Three Silence Claws in the same run. I'm getting confused now. Is this where we came from? This happens every single time I do runes. I always end up getting lost. Farm all the team points. Yeah, I suppose that's the good thing about Silence Claw with it being a 10-star. Yeah, it's the same for... There's a few enemies like that base player where they just didn't make ultimate versions. Del Sabers are another one. They don't really change them in ultimate. Not that I mind for Del Sabers, because I think they're quite cool enemies anyway. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see some more changes. Level 61 D-Ban using Black Hound QS and he's still getting knocked over. Yeah, it's interesting that there was only the change in episode 1 as well. So obviously in episode 2 they don't really change anything regarding the enemies in terms of changing actual models. Obviously I know they change in Temple and Spaceship, but they're using episode 1 enemies anyway. But you know, Sentinel Control and Seabed, they don't really change anything with the models. They just decided to give instant kill to pretty much everything. So a bit of version of PSO some people playing. The Hilda Emeralds were all Hilda Blues. Oh, right, okay. I know I've seen some sort of very early footage where I know there's like an early promo video where I think Grass Assassins are in the forest instead. But I didn't realise they were all Hilda Blues. I wonder why they changed it. Oh, the Belras hurt so much. Yeah, and I know I have seen on eBay, there's a few people selling like a really early, like I think it's like a network trial of the Dreamcast version. But I don't know if that has any differences to the final release or not. Tempted to pick it up just to see what it is. Yeah, this path just seemed to be a ton of Belras and Bullclaws, really. Oh, that was it, the network trial version. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's always annoyed me, that bass player. Yeah, so you get a part of Barons from a Barons, and it makes a Barons launcher, but it looks like a Garons. Yeah, they seem to do it with a few weapons. So yeah, like you say, it was the same for the Belras as well. So the Belra cannon looks like a weapon from a Dark Belra rather than an Indie Belra, despite it dropping from an Indie Belra. If I had to guess, maybe it's a holdover from the Dreamcast versions, you know, where obviously there was only the Dark Belras and so on. That'll be my guess anyway. Whether it's right or not, I have no idea. This quest is basically just Del Sabers, Belras, and Bullclaws, and that's basically it. Doesn't seem to be anywhere safe here at all. You gotta love the PSO gun lock on sometimes. You know, Del Saber directly in front of you and you lock onto a claw that's next to you. Oh, yeah, sprinkling of sorcerers, yeah. How could I forget? Yeah, this room's brutal. You basically just can't move because of the Belras. But you need to move because of the Del Sabers. Yeah, so I'm guessing that the doors unlock because they, when the claws are still alive, just because these have been spawned by the bull claws, so they're counted as like extra enemies. I was imagining the Del Sabers being infected humans, it turned instead of some native creature. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously they never really explicitly go into what the D-cell creatures are in the ruins, but given what happens to Pioneer 1, yeah, I can just do twins again whenever, so I can just combo anytime. Did we do all 3 paths? I think we might have done, actually. Yeah, I mean, do you want to restart this and do another run, or do you want to do a V101? I honestly can't remember if we went through the right. Was no harm in checking. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you think of the the Dark Falt's arena, once Falt actually spawns, given what that's like with the floor, then yeah, it's not really a leap, is it, to assume that the D cells might be connected to that? I know last stream someone was asking if I would do some lore videos for PSO just to cover the points of the story, so I am going to do that at some point. Yeah, Ruins is horrendous for being amazing. I think Ruins 2 is probably the worst, but yeah, some of the quests here are horrendous with all the warp points. Hopefully it's not just all claws again. One thing I do want to hunt at some point is I want to try and get my hands on a Soul Banish. I used to use one on GameCube, and it's a weapon I've always really, really liked. Even if it's not the best weapon ever, I've just always really liked it. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Favorite points in the ruins is the big arena in ruins 2, and the extra long corridor to the false chamber. Oh yeah, the corridor, yeah. So back when I used to play with my friends on GameCube years ago, we always called that the corridor of doom, because you knew that as soon as you got to that long corridor, you would come to the dark vaults. It does add a lot to the presence of the boss, really, because you see this huge long corridor, and all the corridor itself is like writhing around because it's all alive. I think especially as well, like as you're going through ruins, and obviously you're seeing all the messages from Rico, and as you get further through, you sort of realize what's going on. You sort, when you see that corridor, then you come to the conclusion that you know that you're gonna have a run-in with her again. I've seen quite a lot of people always say that they don't like the story of PSO because they always say it doesn't really have a story, but I've always kind of disagreed with that. It's just it's told in a different way, really. I think you called it the Corridor of Eternity. First time you go down it, it feels like that. They always called the big middle room in Ruins 2 the flashlight room because it's shaped like a flashlight on the map. Ah, yeah, it is, yeah. I just think it's really, really good level design as well, because you know that if you come across these rooms that you know you're going the right way. It is almost like waypoints on the map for you, really. Being generous with these healing circles. It's quite a fun quest, this. The only thing I don't like is how many bull claws there is. I really, really don't like bull claws. Speak of the devil. Hit the version of Ruins 2 where you have to go through 2 teleporters to deactivate the laser grid in front of the Ruins 3 portal. Yeah, there's some patterns of Ruins 2 that are horrendous. For me personally, I always find that Ruins 2 is where I'm going to get lost if I get lost in Ruins. Yeah, Ruins 1 I've always thought it's fine, really. It's not too bad. And I tend to find that Ruins 3 is fairly simple for the most part. Occasionally you get where you have to find a few, warp points, but Ruins 2 just seems like a maze sometimes. This is just backtrack. Ah, yeah, looks like it. Is that everything then? Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, we got 1 swordsman's lore at least, so it's not bad going for 1 run. I don't mind doing one more of this if you want. We could do one more and then switch to V101. Nothing worse than having to backtrack a whole level. Yeah, I think, for me, I think Ruins 2 and maybe Caves 3 are some of the worst levels in the game just because of how much of a maze they are. I always end up going the wrong way in Caves 3 for some reason. Well, at least I got a photon drop out of it. Yeah, I know it's crazy that we got one in one run. We just need 2 more now. Yeah, oh, that could be all of our luck for the next week. Yeah, that's why I don't like Cave 3, because those teleporters, because I always end up going in them. And they take you all the way back to the start of the level. It's an absolute troll. I hate them. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, you get to the Durolay portal and it's right there. But if you go the other way, you get sent all the way back to the start of the level. I'm guessing that whoever did that level design must have just been having a really, really bad day and just decided to take it out on the players. Like I was saying, there's other message capsules. Yeah, forest will always be a good time. Yeah, I've always really liked the forest map, even though it's really, really simple. It's just it's a nice, simple map to get you into the game. I've always liked the aesthetic of it as well. Call it the Friday overtime map. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can do another run for Swordsman's Law if you want, and then after that we can switch over to V101. They're always weirded out by the receptionist in the lobby. Why don't they move? Yeah, like Draken saying, if anyone's on Ephinea, we're just in Limerace 2-1, so if anyone wants to join in, just feel free. If we're in a quest, just wait outside and we can join you up for the next run. Yeah, I'm not sure really. I haven't really done that quest very much, so I mean, I'm not really bothered about completing the quest as such. I just want to farm some Del Sabers for Swordsman's Law, really. PSO re-release with some graphical upgrades and maybe an expanded character creator is like my single most wanted game. Yeah, you and me both. Yeah, I did the same. I picked Search and it just seemed to tell me to go back to Ruins. So I don't know if it resets the enemies or... Yeah, I'm not sure what it did. I'm not sure if it's just a way of like rerunning the quest while you're still in it. Seems a bit odd that, but... Yeah, I really, really want Sega to re-release, you know, a remaster of PSO. It is probably my most wanted game as well. New Huxil has Blueful. What do you think? So Blueful is quite a good idea for finding partisans. Trying what else you can get. So I think it's been a long time since I played Blue Full, but I think you get Heaven Punisher from Hill to Tor as well. It's a horrendous drop, but you can farm it, sort of. You like a PS0 remake? Yeah, I still need to get around to playing that. It's like the one of the very few Fantasy Stars I haven't played. Runes 2 has a switch with a 12-minute timer to find 4. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, so I'm guessing that maybe you can go a bit further into the quest and do a bit more. I don't mind, really, if you just want to end after Runes 1. I'm not sure how many Del Sabers there is in Runes 2. Thanks, Base Player. I don't actually have a DS myself at the minute either. I probably need to look into getting one at some point. Just so I can try it out, because I imagine I can get a DS really, really cheap now anyway. Yeah, I've heard good things about PS0, but just never really tried it. Runes 2 has 40 more Del Sabers. Could be worth doing. Yeah, I know on the non-quest runs, sort of Runes 2 is where you get the majority of the Del Sabers usually. That kind of scares me though, because we got a ton of Del Sabers in Rune 1. And yeah, I get what you mean about wanting PS0 with better graphics as well. You know, from what I've seen of it, it looks a little bit dated with it being on the DS, but I suppose no more dated than PSO though, to be fair. You found them on Doc Secret Plan. Yeah, Doc Secret Plan's a really, really good one for like single player farming. I really need to use gelling on these guys more often. I keep forgetting that I'm not level 200 tuning well anymore. PS0 is interesting because you can finally be a Humal and Rhinium and a Rhinual. Yeah, I like that they expanded the classes more. It never really made sense that there was just some class combinations that you couldn't do in PSO. I guess because they had to limit it. I remember reading an interview actually, and I'm sure in the interview it mentioned that they did originally plan on having those extra classes in. So from what I read, I can't remember where it was I read it now, but from what I read, there were plans to have like classes like Hukasil in the original game, but they just didn't have time to add them in. So they added them to like GameCube instead. From what I've heard, I think PSO version 1 was rushed out. Oh, 400 drop. Depends what dropped it, really. I guess it was maybe the Sorcerer. I'm assuming the Sorcerer drop is something like Psycho 1, because I think it normally is for most section IDs, either that or the Sorcerer's Arm. Now for Skylight, it's like a 1 in 300,000 drop for the Psycho 1. Yeah, I can't remember what the sorcerer drop is for Viridia. It's really weird. So, like, I think I mentioned this before, but I hit level 200 with a Viridia on the official servers. But for some reason, I can never remember the Viridia drop charts, despite having a level 200 on there. I can remember the Skyly drop charts, like, off the top of my head. I never hit 200 with Skyly. I don't get that. Version 1 makes the law because for some reason I thought dropping your weapon when you die would be a good idea and not lead to massive griefing online. Yeah, I mean, who's going to steal your weapon on that? I know, I can't believe that they actually did that. Yeah, the Wild West of PSO. You have Viridia on GameCube. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was mainly Skyly on GameCube. And I switched to Viridia for Blue Burst. This character was originally Viridia on this server, but you might remember, but on this server they used to let you change section ID, and I changed it to Skyly. I think they stop you from doing it now. Oh, Hook Seal, nice. Yeah, I mean, in regards to like dropping your weapon in Dreamcast, I know I've read in interviews that like Diablo was a big influence to PSO devs when they were making PSO, and I know obviously in games like, I don't know about the original Diablo because I never played that one, but I know in Diablo 2 when you die you drop your corpse and you have to go and retrieve your corpse. So maybe they were thinking it would be similar to that, but why you would make it drop your weapon and then have other people be able to pick it up just seems like a terrible idea. Used to lose experience as well. I'm not sure for Dreamcast. I know on Blue Burst you do lose experience. Again, I don't know if that's on Ephinea, but I know on official Blue Burst you definitely lost experience when you died. Yeah, it was just experience lost on Blue Burst. I think on GameCube, I believe you lost all of the money that you had with you. Yeah, it was. Yeah, you lost all the money that you had equipped, all the money you had with you on your character. Which wasn't really a big deal, to be honest, because all you would do is just not carry money on your character. You just keep your money in the bank. The only downside was, obviously, if you're using charge weapons, for example, it would basically take away your ability to do charge if you didn't have money with you. So you generally just carry a little bit of money with you to use charge. And then you'd be okay, really. But yeah, I just cannot understand. Oh, we were talking about this a few minutes ago. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm so dead. Or not. He just looked straight at me, went to fire the Megad off, and then just decided to change last minute. Yeah, I can't remember how much dark resist you need for these guys. More than I've got, apparently. Joke's on him, it restored my TP. Yeah, the claws are little opportunists, you know. They seem to pick her off really, really easily. They just time it perfect. You ran the Mazetta cap so fast in GameCube, you basically have excess cash because your bank runs out of space. Yeah, especially when you get to higher level. Again, that's another thing they've improved on this server in particular. They've increased the amount of money that you can carry in your stash. That was a big problem on GameCube, I remember that. I'm going to have to head back to Pioneer in a minute and get some moon atomizers. Yeah, you would just end up with this massive excess of money that you were just using to pump enemies with charge. You just couldn't store it anywhere else. Oh, come on. He spawned directly on top of me. I don't know how that one turned into a bull claw when it didn't even touch me. I guess it counted as latching on me for some reason, but... yeah, I know stacking materials and grinders was a total pain on GameCube as well. It was okay if you were sort of using them as you went, but, you know, typically you would save up your materials and your grinders. Particularly grinders as well. It didn't help as well, obviously you've got the 3 different kinds of grinders, so you would just have piles and piles of mono grinders, die grinders, and tri grinders. And they just wouldn't stack. Same escape dolls as well to an extent. You're halfway through hard and you're already at 500,000 Mazetta. Yeah. It doesn't get any better as well. You will just end up sitting on a huge pile of Mazetta and there's nothing you can really do about it. But the good thing is the game will relieve you of that Mazetta every time you die, so... yeah, this is terrible for mag synchro, isn't it? To be honest with me, on official servers, it got to a point when I was hunting the CLJ sword, I literally just waited until my mag was at 0 synchro and then just spammed CLJ sword hunts then, because it just seemed pointless raising synchro when I was going to lose it anyway in Phantasmal World 4. Rare footage there of a Hunuel hitting 1,000 damage. Doesn't happen very often. Yeah, I do like in that new NGS Limited quest that there is kind of the little nod to PSO with the music. They've changed the music to the PSO Forest music and the Dragon music as well. It's nice of them to sort of, you know, recognize PSO, I guess. I wish there was a bit more, you know, a bit more of PSO in NGS. You know, whether it's like collabs or even just outfits from PSO, that would be nice. Yeah, sure, we can go left if you want. I would like this quest a lot more if there wasn't as many claws and bulk claws as there is. Sorcerers are annoying, but I don't know, I find bulk claws way more annoying to deal with for some reason. Darkbringers in trade. Darkbringers, I don't know, I don't find them too bad, to be honest. The only downside is them stealing all your TP all the time and doing that triple shot. Special weapon, and we are on Viridia, so that is, I would imagine, probably a Gearbolg, I'm guessing. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that is one, actually. It's one of the few drops I do remember. Yeah, I'll see what it is. Does it actually have any good percentages? 5% dark and 15 native? No. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, it's a cool looking weapon. I mean, it looks alright. I mean, to be honest, you can get away with using it fine. It's certainly not an endgame weapon by any means. You know, but it'll do you for sort of early ultimate. Yeah, I just had this like flashback of when I played Viridia on the official servers and how many of them I used to get. It was basically, from what I remember of playing Viridia, it was essentially just piles of those Gearbolgs and then piles of final impacts as well. And that was about it. Man, I think every section ID is the same for that, though. You know, I mean, with Skyly, all you end up getting is Dragon Slayers and Justice, so... Final Impact seems familiar. Yeah, it's the it's like the higher end like basic shot. It's like one up from a Meteor Smash. It seems like nearly everything in the drop charts drops it. Ah, yeah, of course, yeah, if you were Viridia, yeah. Most common rifle I found with green is Visk and Waltz. Yeah, so with green you'll tend to find it'll be Visks, Waltz, and then you'll probably get Justies once you get into like late very hard or early ultimate. The Visk honestly is not too bad. Again, it is a fairly early weapon, but if I remember correctly, I think it has a paralysis special, so you can get some use out of it. You are still going to want to replace it later on, but it's not too bad. Got a Justy off an L-Rappy, finding Visks in boxes. Yeah, that sounds about right. You'll notice that. So yeah, when you're in very hard, you'll tend to notice that the whatever you got in sort of the back of hard, you'll probably start getting in very hard boxes, and then you'll get the ultimate drop usually from like very hard rare enemies. Justy is not too bad though. I mean, I give it a lot of grief just because of how many I get with Skyly, but it is actually not too bad a weapon because of its special. It's quite good for cutting enemy HP down. But it'll do you perfectly fine for sort of relatively early game. Do need to replace this standstill shield at some point for probably for Kasami Baresa. Need to get my red Rhea leveled at some point so I actually can do ultimate mines. Yeah, it is basically like a poor man's brings rifle. Because they have similar specials, so... I mean, to be honest, the Justy does have an advantage in that you can give it hit. Yeah, you can get one with hit. Hit Gladius. It's always annoying when you get a really, really good percentage on a terrible weapon. I also want to make a summit move for my 4 new world as well. Just to get the extra boost on the simple techs. I need to level her a bit more though, because I think she needs to be at least 100 to be able to make it. They always put the Belras in the most annoying places, so as soon as you get up, you just get walloped by them again. Yeah, this isn't too bad a quest really for hunting the Swordsman's Law. If we could just like sort of change out some of the claws for Del Sabers, that would be better. I think single player I'd probably just use Doc Secret Plan because it'd be a lot easier to deal with. I think for today, we'll probably play PSO for about the first 2 hours, and then we'll switch over to NGS to do some of the limited quest runs. Like I said at the start, I do want to sort of farm some of the Giga Strugments and NGS just so I can try and get the some of the PSO camos. On reflection, I may not use the resonant memory card. Feels a little cheap. I have to take a photo of them for proof. Yeah, I suppose if they have really, really high percentages, depends if you want to use them. You know, if you know the legitimate ones, or it's entirely up to you. I mean, you know, obviously the game's 20 years old now, so no one's going to judge you if you use, anything that's, like action replayed or anything like that. But it depends how you want to play, really. Sometimes it's more fun just finding your own stuff, but it can be really fun sometimes as well to use some like really powerful gear just so you can see how strong you can be. Nothing has hit apart from a VI with -5 hit. Yeah, whoever tech that needs to go and watch my teching video of how to tech. You should never have anything with minus percentages. That's actually a super underrated weapon, that as well. But, well, actually, I don't even know if it's underrated. I think a lot of people do use it. If you don't know, that weapon has a special version of charge. So instead of using like a couple of hundred Mazetta to use a special, it's 10,000, but it does way more damage. Actually, out damages a lot of the other partisans in the game. They need to have a word with themselves. The thing is, though, I suppose, back in the day, no one tells you in PSO that that's how the checking system works. The game doesn't tell you anything. It does sort of leave it all up for you to find out. I think most people will find out through being told by someone else. So, if you've got no one there who's telling you that you need to check up 10% up, then you're not going to. You're just going to accept whatever the check result is. Why was that Del Saber just like moonwalking in place? But they always have so much health. It's always fun when a Bullclaw spawns directly on top of your character. You just can't do anything about it. Yeah, the VI is actually a super strong weapon. The only downside is that you need to have really, really deep pockets to be able to fund it. Yeah, so what I do when I find like an untech weapon is I'll generally check the percentages as soon as I get it. And I'll usually check again before I actually check it as well. So, for example, with this gearborg I've got, you can see it has it's got 15 native unteched and 5 dark. So I know that will take up to 25 native and 15 dark. Yeah, but again, though, if the game doesn't tell you. Left was the near right. Yeah, I wonder if it just changes each run. Like I said, I'm not familiar with this quest at all, so I don't know how it works exactly. So what happened last time is, when we went back to Pioneer, I spoke to the NPC and he basically went, do you want to go and find more capsules? And I said yes, and then he basically just sent me back to Ruins again. Gonna go for dinner, can do some more rooms before. Yeah, no worries, Draken. Yeah, that's one reason I'm doing a lot of the PSO videos, though, just because there is a lot about this game that the game just doesn't tell you. You join after having dinner. Yeah, no problem. I'll probably be streaming until about 9:30 GMT or so. I have to unseal the Gladius. I realised that, there's not going to be a huge amount of people who are going to look for PSO guides on YouTube, but I thought for the few people who are looking for it, I'm going to put it on there. I guess it's one thing that probably distinguishes my content from some of the other creators for NGS is that I do focus on other Fantasy Star games as well. But yeah, it depends what you're looking for, really. For me, generally, I will play anything that's got the Fantasy Star name on it, usually. It has bitten me in the past. Played most games, so I like your content. Oh, thanks for that. Yeah, what I've realised is that a lot of the people who watch my stuff seem to be people who used to play PSO and felt nostalgic and wanted to watch it again. Yeah, that was just disrespect, just shooting you in the back. Oh, I got a double kill again. These sorcerers are running absolutely riot. It's nice to find it still relevant today. So many memories. I maybe make new ones with my stepson. Oh, that's nice to hear that. It's really cool. It does make me feel really, really old when when you hear about people having kids. Maybe met someone playing PSO and then have had kids. It does make me feel absolutely ancient at times, but it is really, really cool to hear that it's been kind of passed down. I think, to be honest, even though it's an old game, I think it's quite simple, to be honest. So for the most part, I think it is the kind of game that you can introduce to people. I never played the original Phantasy Star games. Very, very little. I've played all of them a little bit. To be honest, I find them quite hard to get into. I think it's just because they are obviously very, very dated now, and for me, I kind of find it difficult to get into like a single player RPG now that requires a lot of time, just because I work full time during the week as well. So I've always found it quite difficult to get into. Yeah, I got a Silence Caller now as well. It doesn't even have hit. Got bought one as presents because they had Phantasy Star title, but they weren't for me. Yeah, like I said, I've tried playing them very, very briefly. I struggle to get into them a little bit. From what I've heard, they're really, really good games. And obviously, it's where it all started. But yeah, just for me, I couldn't really get into them that easily. But a lot of it was just down to I just didn't really have enough time to devote to them. Four is probably the only one that's aged okay. Yeah, I think I've played all of them slightly, but I think the ones I spent the most time with, I think it was Phantasy Star 2, I think. Yeah, I'll do twins, just whenever you want to combo. Yeah, it's just the downside of because of how how old the games are now. It's just that it's quite difficult for a game like that to hold up well, I think now. Nothing against the game. I think it's just it can be quite difficult to go back to games like that now. I'm not sure, to be honest. Yeah, I've never tried to have all doing the same PV. I think doesn't it just waste it? You just kind of waste those photon blasts. I'm not sure. Have to be different. Yeah, I'm not totally sure, to be honest. I've always just used different photon blasts to everyone else. Yeah, maybe if I get some time at some point, I can have a look at the old Phantasy Stars again and try and get into them. PS4 is amazing. I've heard really, really good things about them, yeah. It's just having the time to do them, really. I probably should at some point, just because I've played pretty much every other Phantasy Star game going, so struggling to get into NGS. Yeah, it can be quite a difficult game to get used to. Planet 2 JRPG, too much talking and not much walking with the intro. Yeah, so with NGS, the prologue part of the game where you're in Elio Town, that is quite slow and laboured. And to be honest, I think with NGS, you have to think of it as a totally different game to PSO. There is some elements of PSO that have made it to NGS, so there is still like the rare hunting aspect to an extent, but it is very much more designed a bit more like an MMO. I wouldn't say it is an MMO because there's just not as many players as your typical MMOs, but I think that you kind of have to view it from the viewpoint of it's trying to be more similar to an MMO. If you do end up revisiting the first game, definitely recommend the Switch. Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Yeah, I've got a Switch, so I can look into that. I think that when I tried it, it might have been the one that was on Steam, possibly. I've never tried Elder Scrolls Online. I think the only Elder Scrolls game I've ever played is Skyrim. Just it's a series I've always struggled to get into Elder Scrolls as well. No worries, Draken. Thanks for the runs anyway. Like I say, I'll be streaming till about 9:30. So you know, when you come back, if I'm on NGS, you know, you can do some NGS runs or some more PSO if we're still doing this. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so it's switched to Skyline now, but we should be okay because they'll say we still drop a Swordsman's Law anywhere. Plays a lot different to Skyrim, more writing playstyles and a lot of interesting stories. Oh, cool. Yeah, I had quite mixed impressions of Skyrim. I think, to be honest, they're just those kind of games. They're just I usually do struggle with them just to get invested. I think the main problem I had with Skyrim is I just wanted to do stupid stuff all the time. I couldn't really get into the story or anything because I just wanted to constantly do stupid stuff in the game. God, this is rough. Oh, Clutch Rabata. Just absolutely obliterated. Yeah, another game I'm looking forward to is and that is an RPG actually, so I am kind of sort of contradicting myself a bit here. But I'm really interested in looking at the Front Mission 3 remake whenever that comes around. That's another series by Square. It's like a mech game. I've done the Front Mission 1 and 2 remakes, but I'd love to try out the Front Mission 3 remake whenever that comes out. The original one was one of my favourite games ever. I think besides PSO is probably the game I put the most time into as well. Oh, this room is brutal as hell. Just got absolutely annihilated. You just get hemmed in by all the claws and then the Del Sabers just dismantle you. Especially when they're this fast in Ultimate as well. Just trying to get a little bit of breathing room. Not getting any at all. See, people who start with NGS don't know what, you know, what difficult content's actually like. You know, when you get knocked over and then just get absolutely beaten into a pulp as soon as you get back onto your feet again. Dinner room vibes are definitely, yeah. It's kind of similar actually because the way Jellin interacts with the Del Sabers is kind of the same. So quite often you'll get it where the Del Sabers will just continue comboing you and they just won't knock you over. The work to get the frozen shooter shots in, yeah. Yeah, so I think I mentioned it before, but if you gel in certain enemies, it actually makes things worse for you. It kind of depends on your defense and stuff, though, and how much health you've got. I think so, yeah. I think we might just have to Zalo the Del Sabers because they were just comboing me and I wasn't getting knocked over, so I was just getting beaten into a pulp by them. There's a few other enemies like that as well. I think Gal Griffin's the same as well. I can't remember at all which way we've been, so let's follow you for now. Yeah, I'm guessing that's where the warp came in. Yeah, this map is horrendous. It's just a huge mess. Yeah, so for the PSO videos, I think the next one's probably going live on probably next weekend, so it'll either be Saturday or Sunday. As I said, we're probably going to be looking at the Hunters next, so it'll either be Hucast or Hucasil next. And then we'll move through like Ranger Force, Hunter Ranger Force, and so on. I do want to do another PSU video at some point as well, because I know a few people have asked for those as well. And I've only done one video for PSU so far. Just trying to balance all the demand really, so, you know, balancing it between the PSO and PSU videos. Yeah, I'm just as lost as you. I can't remember which warps we've been in now. I'm pretty sure we did left, and I'm guessing we did middle. So, yeah, maybe just the right one left. Did right. I have no idea. I'm second guessing myself now. This is the ruins experience. It's not a real ruins run unless you get lost in the middle of it. Went left after, I think, left first. Yeah, I can't remember. I know in the first run we went middle first. Does that laser have any hit? shame. Right, we'll try right. I mean, this looks like we've been this way as well. Unless we have done all three. I honestly can't remember. Yeah, this is what led back around to the end, so... Yeah, I think we must have finished. Yeah, well, we can end it there anyway. Yeah, possibly. I'm not really sure how this one works. So do you want to check Ruins 2, or do you want to end it there? I'm just aware that Ruins 2 has a lot of really annoying enemies, like the gunners. Yeah, so nothing with decent percents, unfortunately. I'm not going to worry too much about the teching for these because they're just pretty common weapons anyway. That'll do. They hit Dim and Spirit Ray guns. Ah, cool. One day this guy will sell charged Vulcans in the shop. That day is not today. Oh, you have a 50-hit Hellray gun, ah, cool. Yeah, I used to have, back on the official servers, I used to have I think it was a 55-hit Demon's Ray gun. That was really, really useful for tower. And for taking care of Gerta Blulu as well. Yes, I'm not sure what happens now. I don't know if we can go back down to Ruins 2 or... I think when you talk to the guy, he basically asks you if you want to go back to Ruins. I'll try that and see what it does. The ray gun seems to work better than the ring of. Yeah, I mean, the non-rare weapons, really, you shouldn't really discount them because you can get some really good ones. Yeah, sometimes just having the ability to combo is really, really useful. I think it's because of the way the accuracy works in PSO, so like your last hit is always the most accurate. Yeah, so he says, yeah, so message capsules are located in the next area of the ruins. Can you continue searching? Yes, I'm guessing that then unlocks Ruin 2. Ruin of 5 is Pierce and Dark Special. Ah, cool. Oh, okay, so this does unlock Ruin 2, nice. Hopefully get quite a lot of Del Ds because they drop Lavis Cannon for Skyly. Oh, please don't tell me it's just full of claws again. Yeah, hopefully you guys have been finding the PSO guides useful. I know some of you obviously played a lot of PSOs, so they won't be as used to you. But hopefully they're still reasonably interesting. I'm going to try and do a fair bit of PSO content on the channel anyway, so even once all the character guides are done, there's still plenty of other things I want to cover. Ah, more bull claws, brilliant. Maybe Akiko's frying pan guide. Yeah, I can look into that. I know I've already done one for Soul Eater, so I was thinking that when I was doing the Soul Eater guide that I should probably do one for Akiko's as well. I know there is the Raggle ring from Seek the Heart as well, but that's a nightmare to get. When you've played Hugh Cast and had the expert on PSO, just started a rare mask. That last guy was really helpful. Ah, good to know. And the special mag scene in Soul of Steel. I'll have to look into that again because it's been a long time since I've done Soul of Steel. But I can definitely look into that for you. It's just there's certain things in PSO that you just tend to do once and then not really do again. Things like the Soul Eater, once you've done it once, you're probably not going to go for another one. Well, at least these guys are a little bit easy to take care of. Ah, there we go. I finally got some more Del Sabers. I need to keep reminding myself not to use gelling on them. I know if you get a Soul Eater, you can get a special scene in Soul of Steel. You need to tell Sue your name. Yeah, there's a few things that depend on whether you tell Sue your name. That ultimately depends on the side quest route you go on. The good thing is, though, you can do it each difficulty as well. So if you unlock Soul Eater in one difficulty, you can then just do the other route on the next difficulty. I also think that, once you've done all of the story quests, I think they all unlock again. So then you can just go through again. It's one thing I do like about the game, though, that there is all these little side quests and side stories that you can do. And that ultimately goes back to what I was talking about earlier with the story of PSO. A lot of the little story segments are tied to things like that. Well, that's not good. Yeah, there is a lot of characters that you just never really find out about. I think a lot of it is kind of left up to your own interpretation of what happens. Just a side note, I think these guys might be my least favorite enemy in PSO. I can't stand them. Seized. Yeah, I mean, realistically, you know, with PSO, there's a lot of characters you just wouldn't find anything out about unless you did all of the subquests. You know, characters like Shino and Zook, you wouldn't know anything about them really, unless you did, you know, quests like Sigma Master, and characters like Donoff as well. Can't hit them too much if they got your Graviton plate. Be useful for something then. I think for Skyly, actually, I think they dropped the Skyly card. It's like a ridiculous drop rate. And really, that's an uber rare like I don't even really want. It's completely useless. What we'll do is we'll probably finish this a bit of Ruins too, and then I'll switch over to NGS for the last part of the stream and do a couple of the limited quest runs. I think it's safe to gel in there, yeah, that's fine. Can't see a thing because of the wall. We're good. You gotta go again after Ruins, run another early start tomorrow. No worries, best player. Yeah, I've got an early start myself tomorrow as well. Back at work, unfortunately, tomorrow, so... Gunner's tedious. Thought there might be a trick to them, don't know. So the way they work, if you don't know, basically, so each of them has a different coloured light on them, and there'll be one of them that's got a red light called the Death Gunner. And what you're meant to do is you're meant to kill the Death Gunner, and if you kill the Death Gunner, it temporarily stuns all the Dark Gunners. The downside, though, is that on other versions of the game, the Death Gunners don't drop any rares. I know on this server they've actually enabled it so they drop the same as the Dark Gunners. But for example, on GameCube, the Death Gunners they just don't drop rares at all. They don't drop anything. So you have to basically not use the tactic that you're meant to use to kill them. So if you want the rares from them, you have to kill the Dark Gunners instead, which makes them just incredibly frustrating to deal with. Yeah, and that's the other strat as well, is basically use Paralyze and Freeze to lock them up. But they are just really, really irritating enemies. But if you're not hunting them, the way to kill them is just focus on the Death Gunner. It is only for a few seconds that it'll stun them, but then what will happen is, once you've killed the Death Gunner, if there's any Dark Gunners left, then a new Dark Gunner will change into a Death Gunner, and then you can repeat the process again. So basically, just focus on the one with the red crystal on top of it. No worries. It's the same with these bull claws as well. If you're hunting anything off these, again on GameCube, for the bull claws, if you want any rares from them, only kill them when there actually has a bull claw. if you let them change into a bulk, they won't actually drop any rares. On Blue Burst on this server, they've changed it so the bulks do drop the rares as well. But on GameCube and other versions prior to this, you have to kill them as a bulk claw. As far as I'm aware, I think once they've changed to a bulk, I think if you wait for a while, they do eventually change back again. These guys are just relentless. They're so fast. You can't actually get the restore animation in before you get hit again. That'd be one advantage of having V8 or 1, I guess. It would maybe let me get the restore off in time. Really, I should just be using a diamond instead. There, for example, I'll use a diamond just so I can get out of the way as well. You always wondered what the colours were about. Yeah, it's just the red crystal is just an indicator to show you which one's the Death Gunner. Essentially, if you think of the Death Gunner as like the equivalent of the leader wolves. So guys, Black Mates wanted to have dinner together. No worries, Draken. Possibly, yeah. Yeah, but basically you have to kill them as a bulk claw. If you let them change into a bulk, they don't have a drop while they're as a bulk. Like I say, it's only different on this server. It's been pretty rough, to be honest. I feel like Ruins 2 has been quite a bit easier than Ruin 1. There's no Belras, and there doesn't seem to have been any sorcerers either. It just seems to be mainly Del Sabers and Merlins so far, and a lot of bulk claws again. Might have even prevented Mega Death. That's disgustingly broken if that's the case. Yeah, there's been a few more Del Sabers, so a few more chances at Swordsman's Law, I guess. Sorcerers and Belras never spawn in Ruin 2. Yeah, I think... I know Belras definitely, they're usually Ruins... I think Belras are normally Ruin 1 and 3, I think. Yeah, and you never get Del Sabers in Ruin 3. Yeah, it sounds like it is just 40 in Ruin 1 and 40 in Ruin 2. I will say, though, that so far the Del Sabers seem to have been a lot more spread out in Ruin 2. I feel like if you were spamming for Del Sabers, maybe it's better to just run Ruin 1 and then cancel. There's also a lot of Gunners in Ruin 2 as well. Strangely, they didn't stun there, but I think that's because the Death Gunner was frozen when it died. Sometimes that kind of messes with the AI a bit. To be honest, though, it doesn't matter because when they're frozen, they're easy pickings anyway. Too many, yeah, too many. Oh, there we go, got some more. Yeah, what I'll probably do, Draken, is after a few more rooms of this, I'll probably switch over to NGS for a bit. I'll probably be streaming till about 9:30 or so. So about another... Yeah, just under an hour, probably. Probably enough time to get a few limited quest runs in, at least. Oh, that PD. I'm okay with that, because I think it's either God Body or Heavenly Body, I think. Another Skyline Merlin drop's not very good. Yeah, I can do Pillar. So yeah, so I think what happened is I think when you left, it seemed to automatically change the ID to me. But that's fine though, because Swordsman's Law still drops on Skylight anyway. No Fowler love. I should just use Fowler at some point, just so you can actually see it. I hate that I've got Fowler on this mic. That's an interesting spawn point, just straight into this room. Yeah, it's exactly the same drop on Skylight. Thank God I dodged that. Oh, more gunners. The annoying thing as well, they're kind of what I can only describe as slidey. So when you hit them, they quite often recoil and slide back, and that prevents you from hitting them more. It just makes them even more annoying to deal with. You'd rather have that than Layla on your Raymar Mac. I'm gonna get Red Sword this way. It's all I'm missing besides Darkfloor. Red Sword with 30 hit on Newcastle would let me 9 nasty paralysis on the ruins mobs. Yeah, Red Sword's not too bad. I think Skylight's probably one of the better drops for that. Skylight gets it from Go Vulmas and Curves. It's like 1 in 900, I think, so it's really not too bad. Oh, we're starting to get bringers. Now, for anyone who hasn't done Ultimate before, the interesting thing with Darkbringer is when they hit you with a charge, they decup your weapon. Yeah, Skylight's quite good for it because you can get quests that have a lot of Go Vulmas in. So even though it's a worse drop rate, it's quite spammable. But to be honest though, the Viridia drop from Nano Dragons is a pretty good one as well. Yeah, there are some quests that have a lot of Nano Dragons in them, so... Yeah, it's Pal Shark, yeah. So they're called Go Vulmas in Ultimate. I'm sure. I think there's an ID that gets it from the yellow sharks as well, the Milkweeks. I think Red Rhea might get it possibly, but it's a really bad drop rate because the drop anything rate for Milkweeks is terrible. Basically, if you don't know, so every enemy has what's called a drop anything rate. And that's essentially the chance of an enemy dropping an item in general. So, for example, something like a Giga, which is like a mini-boss, might have something like an 80% drop anything rate, which means that roughly 80% of the Gigas you kill are going to drop something. I think that's another Silence Claw. But some enemies have really, really low drop anything rates. So Melquakes are actually the lowest of any enemy in the game that can drop things. So they only have a 15% drop anything rate. So the majority of Melquakes that you kill will drop nothing. That's why the Viridia Yasha drop's so hard to get. It's still actually one of the better drops because you can spam Melquake so much. It's something you have to sort of weigh up. So if you're hunting something like Yasha, although Viridia's drop is a much worse actual drop rate, you can spam quests that have a ton of Melquakes. Yeah, the Nano Dragon drop is really, really decent. You know, if you can get a quest that has a lot of Nano Dragons in, I think it's about 1 in 573 or somewhere around there, I think. It's a really, really decent drop rate. I would personally, if you're going for Red Sword, I would go for either the Skylight drop or the drop from a Nano Dragon. Yeah, I can't remember what the best quest is for those now. You can kill them in TTF. Yeah, I mean, there is a few in the TTF runs, so you can always just kill them as you're leveling. Why should you kill so many lilies and ult? Yeah, honestly, I would just consider like doorway camping them. Gonna head off. No worries, base player. See you again next stream. Always a great watch. Thanks very much, base player. Have a good night. I think the reason it's rare is I think just a lot of people just don't hunt it. I think one of the problems with Red Sword is, so although it is a strong weapon, it's got a very, very variable attack. If you look at the stats for Red Sword, its actual attack power varies quite wildly. So your damage is kind of all over the place with it. Whereas something like Chainsword has a much smaller variance on its attack. So I think a lot of people don't use Red Sword because they don't like the sort of unpredictability of it, I guess. Honestly, it's still a decent weapon, though. I would still use it. I think it's just a weapon that, as well, that not many IDs get. Potency for early concept gameplay. Yeah, it's basically the same kind of thing, yeah. Yeah, there are certain weapons that are like that. It feels like Red Sword is a particularly bad example of it. It's compounded a bit by the fact that because it's a weapon that grinds quite high as well. That factors into it as well. Guessing there's a bit of desync here. There's nothing in the room for me. One of the interesting things with PSO, occasionally you get ghost enemies. You want it mainly for crowd control. Yeah, it's probably not bad for that. You might want to look up and see if it's reduced special or not. I can't remember if red sword's reduced. To be honest, even if it is reduced, I think, you know, having paralysis on swords, you know, relatively useful for crowd control, particularly if you're running a bit low on traps as well. Just got a red sword on classic, dropping caves on Skyly. I'm not sure if it's different on Baby. No, it's the same drop. Yeah, that's exactly the same, because that was the same drop on GameCube as well. The great thing about Del Sabers is they freeze pretty easily. Yeah, I honestly can't remember if Red Sword has a reduced special or not. I know quite often with, you know, weapons that hit multiple targets, they are reduced, but there are exceptions to that as well. Oh, cool. I mean, yeah, if it's unreduced, that might be not too bad then, particularly with the boost on, you know, Frandroids. Gunners are so much more easy to take care of when they're frozen. Yeah, you will often find other enemies that, that weapons that have, you know, multiple targets or that hit more than 3 times tend to have reduced specials quite often. It's a long quest, this, like, I didn't realize how many enemies are in this. Thought I could hear a gunner. Bring your ray gun next time we do this. Get for episode 4 Dolphins and get a blue Libra, it could be used in Ep1. Yeah, it depends on their on the enemy's status resistance really, but we can always try it and see if it works. I mean, to be fair, I mean Spread Needle seems to be doing pretty well, so I've got the easy job, I just hit things. I also love that weird visual bug with mech guns where if you switch to a mech gun really, really quickly, your bullets will come in from a different direction. Oh, box rat. Yeah, it's like a slingshot. Yeah, where the bullets just come in from behind. Oh yeah, probably will be a Dragon Slayer for Skyly, yeah. Oh, does the stealth suit stop that from happening? Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I've never tried using the stealth suit. Oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot. The Bringer shot does so much damage in ultimate. I think it's about 1400 or something it does around there. Oh god, this is terrifying. Yeah, you know what I said about Ruins 2 being easier? It isn't now. We should let a freezing, but traps run out so fast, yeah. I think when you've got a quest like this where there's so many enemies, you will just run out really quickly. I feel like we must be near the end, because it feels like we've had tons of Del Sabers. Those invisible claws again. I think it's just a weird desync. I'm assuming it's when the bull claws spawn more claws. Maybe for some, for some people it doesn't sync properly. Does seem to be quite a lot of Merlins in this, so I suppose if you're hunting anything from like Spread Needle, it might be an okay quest to hunt. I suppose the downside though is that you've got to get through to the Ruins 2 part to get to them. So there's pretty easy ways of doing it. So many gunners. It's like the one really, really rare item that I just don't want. I do not want a Skyly card. Yeah, Rangers are so useful in this game. Or rather, I should say, Frozen Shooter and Spread Needle are so useful because, you know, the difference they make to your gameplay with the Ranger is just ridiculous. They are literally game-changing weapons. Frozen shooting spread needle, I should have said. Yeah, I do wonder why they made those weapons the way they did. You would have thought that when the game was like being developed that they would think maybe these weapons are a bit too strong, but I suppose the same could be said for weapons like Excalibur and Blue Burst as well. The sheer amount of damage that does is disgusting as well. The good news is when they do change into bulks, they have virtually no health, so they're really easy to kill. So for Heaven Striker, yeah. I don't know how I forgot that. Yeah, I mean Excalibur, I really don't know what they were thinking with the weapon, you know. It's like I think it's a second highest attack power saber in the game. I think Galatine's technically stronger. But it has a Berserk special, hits 3 targets. I just can't fathom why they made it that strong. I'm so dead. Yeah, Heaven Striker is BB only, yeah. So Heaven Punisher is in the other games, but Heaven Striker is Blue Burst exclusive. Basically, think of Heaven Striker as very similar to Heaven Punisher, but it has naturally as a Berserk special. It does have the Divine Punishment special, but you need another bit of gear to actually be able to use that. But the Berserk on it is ridiculous, and I think it also has some element of like auto aim to it as well. It seems to like lock onto targets that are within a certain distance of you. Budget version of Punisher. To be honest, I think it's probably a better weapon. Yeah, it seems to be whenever there's claws that get spawned by a bull claw, that it messes up the sync between us. This is why you want a spread needle, yeah. Spread needle is ridiculously good. Getting pinned by the door was fun. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so we have to find a capsule. Fair enough. Need to stack out on Blue at some point. Lots of access to trades. Yeah, I think most players are playing like the regular part of Ephinea with all the blue burst stuff. I can understand why people want to play classic as well, though. Yeah, some of the trading on Ephinea is crazy. You know, it seems like you can get a lot of stuff for virtually no investment at all. It's only once you start, you know, going for equipment with hit that the prices start to rack up. But it means that you can get some really decent gear for virtually nothing. I think some of that is down to the Black Papers deal quest, because obviously you can get a lot of 0% gear through that quite easily. I mean, that's how I got this Sanga Yasha. Well, I found the Sanga, but I used Black Papers deal to get the Yasha because I didn't really feel like hunting another Yasha. I did it once on Blue Burst and that was bad enough. Yeah, like I say, yeah, I think the majority of people do just play this version. I think it's a cool idea that they added Classic, though, for people who wanted to just play it, you know, without the Blue Burst editions. I'm trying to freeze these Del Sabers just to give us a bit of room. Audio kills on your number keys, use a controller, but you still have to like add some skills to the hotkeys. So basically what you do is, if you go into your customize menu, just highlight any of your slots. I can probably show you quickly actually. So if you go into customize menu, just select any slot you want, doesn't matter which one. If you then go down to what you want to assign to your number keys, if you then press a number key on it, so for example, if I press, just to show you, if I press 1 on this, then go back to my palette, you can see it's changed to the telepipe there. So just to show you again, go to customize, pick any slot, I go to shifter, I want shifter on number 1, press number 1 on my keyboard, and that adds it. I think you can also hold, it might be control possibly, or shift, and there's like the secondary palette. But that's basically how you do it. I think what we'll do is we'll just run this until the time runs out, and then I might switch over to NGS briefly. I'm just aware it's, you know, it's like 9:10 already, so yeah, I'm not really sure where we go now. Yeah, I suppose if you run it through Steam, you could do that as well. Use different controller layouts. Obviously, bear in mind that you do have your quick menu as well. So, you know, if you do, you know, R and Y, for example, you can bring your quick menu up and do this. So that's another way of getting access to things quickly as well. But yeah, if you want to use the actual palette on the bottom, that's how you do it. You just don't get much room to move at all in here. It's really, really small rooms, and the bull claws kind of hem you in. I'm assuming we just fail the quest when the time runs out, but I'm fine with that because I'm only using it to hunt Dale Sabers anyway. Yeah, so if you wanted shifter and D-band on 1 and 2, you would just go customize, pick a slot, press 1 on shifter, and then press 2 on D-band, and that'll set it for you. It's one of the best additions to Blue Burst, honestly, just having that quick palette. I will say that I quite often forget it's there and just end up using my quick menu anyway. That's just because I started with GameCube and it's what I'm used to. I didn't even have the quick menu in Dreamcast. It'll be a game changer. I played Dreamcast and GameCube, never had those options. Yeah, BB, honestly, if you're playing PSO now, I mean, Blue Burst is probably the sort of definitive version to play now. Like I said, I do have some issues with it compared to episode 1 and 2, but there's no doubt that if you wanted to play PSO now, like, this is probably the version to play. Just because it's probably got the biggest active player base as well. This Del Saber needs to leave me alone. I think you have to get like 4 switches or something, so I mean, there's no hope of doing that in like 15 seconds. You're trying to level up to play with you, but you need to grind up a bit. I do have characters of a few different levels, so I won't be on this character every time. Time up, you have reached the Tim. You were unable to enter the room. That's fine. Yeah, that seems designed for like a full party. I still think it's worth doing for hunting the Del Sabers though. Yeah, no worries, Doom Lord. So I do have a few different characters, so I won't be on this character every single time. So, you know, I will have characters that I'm leveling up on some streams. So if you see me on those characters, by all means, drop by and I'm happy to play with people. I know I really do hate when Tim runs out. Ah, another Silence Claw. Are you getting close to 182? It's crazy. It always scares me that when I think of that 182 is like halfway to 200. So what I'm thinking is, I know I originally said that we're going to play some NGS, but we kind of got a bit lost in PSO, so I might honestly just stick on PSO for now. I think we'll maybe just play a bit more NGS next stream instead. Can't imagine doing it on Dreamcast. Yeah, I know, it must have been horrendous on Dreamcast. Yeah, that was fun though. You know, at least we got one Swordsman's Law anyway, so we can always do a few more runs next time and see if we can get another one. Time for you to go. No worries. Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us anyway. You know, it's always fun doing runs with viewers. So. For either PSO or NGS, want to go for episode 4 Zoo. Up to you, Draken. I mean, we can either do a quick run for zoos, or if you want to do a quick run of the NGS Limited, I don't mind. Is there anything you prefer to do? I like how it gives you a pity 500 Mazetta for all that. I haven't done dailies on NGS. Yeah, sure. Yeah. So yeah, we switch over to NGS. I'll probably only play it for maybe, you know, maybe sort of 20 minutes or so, just to do a quick run of the limited quest. So yeah, I'll switch over to NGS now, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. No worries, Mart. Thanks for dropping by anyway. Yeah, so I'll switch over to NGS now anyway, and we'll pick up with the limited quest NGS. No worries. See you later, Mart. Thanks again for dropping by. There's another Stellar Grace trial. I think it was going for a couple of days from Brightly. Yeah, I'll move over to Leo anyway. So yeah, I think what we'll probably do is we'll just do maybe a run of the limited quest just to round out the stream. Yeah, no worries, Draken, yeah. Yeah, it does look like the Stellar Grace is a reset. I thought it was only 2 days, but must be wrong. Again, if anyone in chat's on NGS or anything on Ship 2, if you want to drop by and join, that's absolutely fine. We'll probably just be doing the one run for today's stream. Intended on playing NGS a bit longer today, but yeah, just got so caught up in PSO. Not a big deal. I think this limited quest's on for at least a couple more days anyway. Oh, no worries. No, I mean, like I said, it was a really good quest for hunting Del Sabers anyway. I have a feeling I've done that quest before. It felt quite familiar when I was doing it. Yeah, we can start anytime. I'm just hoping we don't get people ditching in the quest. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this limited quest, because it is essentially just a recycled urgent quest with a couple of changes. The PSO touches are nice with the music, but I've always thought that Next Vera is a little bit of an annoying boss. Just because he moves around way too much. And sometimes it can be a little bit annoying to lock onto his glowing cores. Yeah, I agree, yeah. The forest music's a really nice touch, but yeah, I really don't enjoy Next Vera. I think it doesn't help as well. To me, it feels like a lot of his hitboxes are really busted. I think what I would like to see for NGS is more focus on like permanent content. It does feel like Sega are in this loop at the moment of giving us a lot of different limited quests, which are fine while they're on, but you know, by the nature of them being limited quests, it means that they're only around for a little bit. Whereas I would really like to see some content that actually sticks around. It's kind of crazy though, after playing PSO and then going to NGS, NGS feels like it's at like 200% speed. Yeah, there is Aegis and Solus 4-man, yeah. It just nice to see a bit more, that's all. I do feel like the sort of the rotation in NGS at the minute is largely just do your dailies, spam the limited quest, and then just wait for urgent quests. I wish there was something to sort of fill the gaps a bit better. I feel like it's a game where the basics are there, but there just needs to be a few little improvements to it just to make it, you know, really, really fun game. The ultra combo. It feels like that when you play an NGS, yeah. Yeah, it does just kind of feel like, if a private server can do it for PSO, surely Sega could do that for NGS, but I mean, don't get me wrong, I do genuinely feel like NGS has improved a lot since, particularly since it initially launched. But I do feel like there is still some way to go. The good news is no one's ditched. So that's good. I have read, I don't know if this is true, but I have read that apparently there's a bug with this boss where if you continually attack the left leg, apparently it just continually chain stuns him sometimes, but I don't know how true that is. I just feel like when he does things like this, he's just really, really irritating. Yeah, I think from what I read, it sounded though like it was unintentionally accumulating too fast. As I say that, I don't know how true it is. It's just something I heard. This team seems pretty good, actually. Return to the stream to see a graphical upgrade and the dragon music. Yeah. So for this quest, they use the PSO dragon music for this boss, and also the actual stage uses the forest music for PSO. Probably meant that happened when bosses and tech start doing elemental downs. Yeah, possibly. Is he going to do his big nuke? No, he's not, because he's going to break. Yeah, it's sort of like a dragon, yeah. This is basically, if you haven't played NGS, this is basically like PSO's equivalent of the dragon, I guess. Oh, wow. Yeah, he got dismantled there. That might be the fastest I've seen him get killed, actually. It behaves kind of similar, so that there is definitely some similarities. So yeah, nothing really of any value. I got Melic TMGs, nice. Yeah, I'll do. No claw drop, no, not unfortunately. There aren't many drops like that in NGS, to be honest. There's a couple of weapons that look kind of similar to some of the enemies, but nothing on like the level of PSO. Yeah, no worries. I mean, I think I probably need to do maybe one more run just to get the reward box. And then after we've done one more, yeah, I'll probably just do one more, and then I'll probably end the stream after that, I think. Yeah, there are definitely some similarities with how it works, but it is way more annoying than the PSO dragon. This guy is what's called Gigantics as well. So Gigantics are like a special type of enemy in NGS that do massively increased damage. So you just hit a lot harder than the regular version of the boss. To be honest, when you've got 8 players that know what they're doing, he kind of disintegrates. Right, there you go. There's the cycle one. What really annoys me with the PSO camos that they added is for the dual blades, I decided to go with like twin Agitors. And I'm just thinking, if you're going to add twin Agitors, why not just add Sango and Yasha? It just seems like such an odd choice. Yeah, I think they got referenced in Dota 2 as well. I mean, I've never played Dota, but I am aware that Sango and Yasha are in Dota. Twin Varistas. I actually, unironically, really like the way the Varista looks in PSO. I think it's a really cool looking weapon. I kind of wish it was more useful. Yeah, it just feels crazy when you play NGS after playing PSO for a while, because it just makes NGS feel so much faster. Like, ridiculously fast, to be honest. The debate for the next week is now whether to play BB or Episode 3. Either is good. Yeah, I think it is the frame rate that's the main difference. So I tend to play this usually 165 FPS. Obviously, it's scaled down for the stream to, I think it's 60 on stream. Yeah, either Blue Burst or or Ep3 will work. No 30 FPS. I can run it at 30. I just don't really want it. On 120 on 4K. Oh, nice. Yeah, I just run it on just on 1440p at the minute. Honestly, with the PC I've got, I could probably run it on 4K, no problem. But I don't really feel like splashing out on a 4K monitor. I could upscale it, but I kind of like how it looks like in native resolution. Using an LG OLED. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, I play controller for NGS as well. It is when 1024 by 768 was the resolution. Yeah, I mean, I remember when I started, it was, I think I started when it was like 800 by 600, and going to like 1024 was like living in the future. see the Flugelguard aura. Did he stun lock you there? Yeah, that's like one of the most dangerous things he does with the fireballs. They just seem perfectly timed to stun lock you. 320 by 200, the good old days of Doom and Duke 3D. Like only a couple of attacks on this guy that actually have a good chance of killing you. This is one of them. Particularly when it gets to 3 heads, the 3 beams can be quite nasty sometimes. He does them at different levels, so it can be quite awkward to sort of jump over them. You can counter them though, so it's not too bad. But yeah, this is the worst thing on the fight, trying to target these cores, because sometimes the camera will just not want to snap to them. Seems to stream auto to 480p. I mean, I'm looking on my OBS at the minute. It's still running okay on my end. I think 480p might be like the natural auto for YouTube. I will look into that, but I mean, I'm right near the end of the stream now anyway as well. I'll check that out. It's just on your end, fair enough. Pretty, but not a fan of the pace of NGS. Yeah, I totally get that. I think, to be honest, I think a lot of people who enjoy PSO, it is quite a common thing that a lot of people who love PSO don't like NGS. I think it's just because it is such a different game. I enjoy both for what they are. I mean, I'll always love PSO. I like NGS for what it is. I don't love it, but I like NGS for what it tries to be. I'm going to move. I'm not risking getting hit by that. Too much stuff going on. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by that. This is definitely a more typical next run. Yeah, I was just in the right place there, so I managed to avoid that time. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I mean, PSO will always be the game that I enjoy the most. I like NGS because it obviously is the current Fantasy Star, and I kind of I do enjoy the combat in NGS for the most part. There is a lot of areas though where I do feel like it is a big downgrade from PSO. Kind of view NGS as a game where like I'm happy to sort of log on and like play it for like an hour or so a night. Whereas PSO, I would just log on and just play it for a disgusting amount of time. I'm not sure if you can counter that. Every time I've tried, I always end up eating it. This part of the fight's pretty spooky as well when he spams the fireballs. Doesn't give you much space to move, really. Getting stuck in a corner being beat by Del Sabers, I think, in NGS. I mean, there is some difficult content in NGS, so things like the dual quests, they will mess you up if you're not careful. I never really find an NGS that I never really feel like I'm in too much danger. Oh, there we go. Any good drops? No. Yeah, I got terrible drops that time. So I think what I'll do is I'll end the stream here for today. We'll probably stream about the same time again next week, and we'll mix it up again between PSO and NGS. I may try doing a bit of PSU on some streams as well and just see how that goes as well. But yeah, I'll end the stream there for today. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, so there will be a NGS video in midweek, and then there'll be another PSO class guide coming next weekend as well, which will probably be a Hunter class one. For the meantime, I'll end that there. Thanks for watching again. If you enjoyed what you like, if you like what you're seeing, consider liking or subscribing to the channel. I also have a Twitter as well. So that's just Twitter at SectionSkyly, and I tend to post on there when I'm going live as well. Yeah, no worries, Draken. Yeah, thanks for joining us again. It was good fun. But yeah, I'll end this one today. PSU, days of sitting down at the beach. Yeah, I remember doing that all the time in PSU. But yeah, I'll call it there for now, and I'll hopefully see you guys same time next week. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.